I have a busy schedule today, so I'm going to be out late. And I just told my wife, I always cook dinner.
Right.
And I told my wife yesterday, I'll just pick up something for dinner on the way home. And she said, great. And I said, what do you want? I can go by. And I listed 4.
You ran down the options?
I was like, there's a burger place, there's a salad place, chicken and pickles, whatever you want. I can get a little pizza. And she said, stop trying to bring home lunch food for dinner.
Where'd that come from?
Wow, that's aggressive.
I don't know.
It is.
I don't know why she said this. Like, what are you talking about? This is where we always get dinner. I said,
It's lunch and dinner.
I said, I can do Five Guys. I can do, whatever. And she said, stop. These are lunch foods.
Stop it. What?
I said, well, what do you want?
You want ribs?
I don't know.
Trout?
We're trying to, we haven't bridged the gap yet. And she said, I'll call you tomorrow or text you and tell you what we require.
Well, it should be interesting to see what her counteroffer is.
I know.
Yeah. I want to know what it is. I bet it's one of those places.
I know. And my son and I both looked at her. We're so quizzical. Like, I don't even know. Who are you? What are you talking about? These are all the places we go.
I'm a human being. I require substance. What?
It was a very odd.
Well, we can light the candles and eat Five Guys.
I mean, yeah. She never.
Yeah. Well, and I don't mean to be mean about it, but I mean, she could go grab something, couldn't she?
Well, but I'll be out.
But you'll be out.
I'll be out already.
And y'all out in sticks now, so it's easier for you to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little further out, and I'll go by 10 restaurants at least.
Oh yes,
At least.
And I said I can do this, I can do that, I can do McDonald's, whatever.
Stop!
Look at your watch, man.
Can't you see? It's
what
after
time it
4:30.
is?
Are you hearing yourself? What's wrong with you? What?
She was really upset about it, and that's not like her. It was a very odd thing for her to say.
Well, maybe it's just summertime and she's home now. Yeah,
She is home. That's
maybe
right.
maybe it's getting the best of her.
Maybe she's in so much. Maybe it's like prison time where she can't. She's not going out anywhere.
Does she go out and do ladies' lunch or anything?
She does that sometimes.
So that's nice.
She's gone out a few times. It was it yesterday or the day before? I guess we were talking about her relationship with John Mayer.
Yeah.
That has continued. She met John Mayer once, and I wasn't there. It was a little meet and greet before a concert, and through the radio station, we got to meet John Mayer. She did, and she said there was a sexual electricity between them. There was an unspoken, you could cut it with a knife, everybody noticed it, thing between them.
And she claims, I've not seen the photograph, but she claims that if you look at the photograph, you can actually see the crackle of electricity between her and John Mayer, who's 10 people apart from her.
Correct. She says there's a... It was like when Biggie, quote unquote, had lunch with Jimmy Johnson, the NASCAR driver.
Absolutely.
And they were 100
At his
yards
place?
apart. Yeah, they were 100 yards apart.
Biggie was standing at the lake and he was up
on a balcony.
up on the
Couldn't
lanai.
get farther apart.
That's right. For that group, she couldn't have been further from John Mayer. But she said when they met, there was an electricity between. I forget what he said. He said something to her like, hey, how are you? And it was big. It was big.
I melted.
Now, after that, a P1 emailed and said that she knew somebody who slept with John Mayer and that John Mayer wanted to be urinated on and then wound up peeing all over her bed and leaving. And Kendra called from Atlanta and said that it's the comedian who was peed on her head.
Chelsea Handler.
Chelsea Handler.
She was in the water and her
Yes.
man was on a boat.
And he urinated on her head. Well, now a P1 says, all right, another celebrity encounter. She says, a friend of mine tried her hand at acting in Hollywood in the 80s. She was in an actor's studio playhouse with Jeff Goldblum, and they dated for about a month. And she says that he was an amazing lover and a really great person. And he let her down easy because his career was getting ready to take off, and he knew it. And he said that he didn't want to be in a serious relationship. But she says that he was a phenomenal lover. Goldblum.
How about that?
Yeah, that's nice to hear a good thing about somebody,
The Fly.
The Fly, Jeff Goldblum. He went on and on, whoever this is, it's anonymous, but said that Jeff Goldblum was ultimately concerned about his partner and not himself. Take a lesson. Take a lesson there, right, from Jeff Goldblum.
What movie skyrocketed him?
I think it was The Fly.
Was it?
I think.
I thought he might have had something before
Was it The Big
that.
Chill?
He was in the Big Chill,
Chill.
but that's
Yeah.
really more of an ensemble.
That was 83. She said 80s here. When,
Yeah.
so maybe it was early 80s when they wound up meeting. It's good to hear It's good to hear that about Goldblum, you know. I like
You guys
that.
worried about him? Yeah. If I ever meet him, I'll remember that. I hear you're a giver as a lover.
What? I hear you don't urinate on your partner.
That's right.
You know, because everybody in Hollywood pees.
A giver has a lover. That's what he is, at least according to our P1 listener. Pop quiz for you and for Biggie and Dave here. Now, Chris Demm
just you two.
Chris Demm asked me these questions. There are only two questions. Pop culture, all right? You try to get them right here. I missed both of them, all right?
Yeah.
Biggie. Aunt Jemima is now hitting store shelves across the country as their new name. What is Aunt Jemima Pancake Syrup's new name?
I feel like we talked about this.
We did.
You were sitting right there.
That's right. Because Chris Demm said, well, I guess you're going to get this new Aunt Jemima. I said, what? Yeah.
Isn't it just called like Pancake House?
No, it is not Pancake. Let's go to Dave Aiken. Dave, what is Aunt Jemima Pancake Syrup and the batter now being called?
Well, now look. Mm-hmm. It was changed at one point, but if you go in the stores now,
yes,
it's Aunt Jemima.
Right, but what I'm saying, Dave.
Well, it is.
Let me say it again.
At least I tried.
For what? No, this is not a joke. These guys changed their name to Hodgkins Mill or something like that.
It is not Hodgkins Mill.
I think he's close, though.
He is close. Now, what they're doing is it's slowly starting to expand across. Yes, they changed their name, but it took them, 7 or 8 months to get the product out there. So now it's you'll see it on your store shelf in the next 2 or 3 months.
I don't think so. I think they changed it back to Aunt Jemima and they took her picture off.
Do you?
Yes.
That's not what I'm reading.
I looked there the other day. They've got the Aunt Jemima pancake batter, and I've seen the other stuff.
I spy with my racist eye.
Not saying that. I didn't rename it.
You're pretty close. What'd you say? Something
Hodgkins Mill?
No, not Hodgkins Mill.
Silver Mill?
Not Silver Mill. No, it is Pearl Milling Company.
Pearl Milling.
I didn't even get that. I was like, I remember we talked about that. We were like, they're changing their name.
It's the same color. It's like, the red and gold.
It's exactly the same color, and I think they've changed it back to Aunt Jemima and took her picture off.
Dave
Why
says,
did they do that? They tried to be woke.
Yeah,
the picture's not there.
But
well, I believe.
Why would they reprint it and take her picture off?
So you're saying why go through all the label change? Maybe it was easier just to take a picture off.
I think they didn't sell any.
Well, I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I think their sales are going to go plummeting because people are still going to look for Aunt Jemima. We can't remember the name of the product. They better do an advertising campaign because we've known Aunt Jemima for 100 years.
Over, yeah.
Yeah, and now they're like you said, if they're coming out with Pearl Milling Company, it's like
I don't think they put out a press release on it, but I bet they changed it back.
Hadn't seen it yet, but USA Today is now. They're reporting that you're seeing it in Publix, supermarkets. And in Florida, in Texas, in California, in supermarkets, and it'll be across the country in the next 3 months.
I saw it.
You saw
I saw the Pearl.
You saw Pearl Milling Company.
I saw it several months back when they first took, probably a month or two after they took Aunt Jemima off.
Did you?
If you Google Aunt Jemima, it's now pearlmillingcompany.com. She is gone. The name is gone.
The name's gone. I think they're doing.
I don't know where you were.
I bet they tested.
I was where you shop and where I shop.
I think you're in a fever dream.
You're in a time warp.
I'm going to take a picture next time I go in there.
Who's this racist taking
So
a
did they
picture?
keep printing it?
Why are you taking a picture of it?
Did they keep calling it Aunt Jemima and took her picture off real quick?
I bet they did. I bet they removed her picture.
Well, why would you do that? If you have to redo the labeling, why wouldn't you just put the new logo and the new name on it?
Because I bet you to get the new labeling took a lot of time.
Probably a ton in the warehouse, in the pipeline.
But to take off the picture is just here. Take off the picture, and they have all those labels.
I think that's the same color. That's just and it's the same font. It's just different letters.
Well, it's Pearl Mill. I wasn't expecting this much controversy.
No.
That guy's taking pictures of syrup.
All right. Next question.
Okay.
All right.
Culture.
How could this next one go wrong?
I swear, Dave. In fact, yesterday, Dave, there was a game about you. You don't even know this. They're playing a game called the Dave Aiken dating game, and it's when you. Okay, and it's when
the oldest reference.
That's right. When you throw in an old reference to something, that is when P1s sit up and take notice. Last week you got in. I know you got in a Chester from Gunsmoke.
Yes. Yeah, Chester's a good go-to.
It was a really good one. Yesterday we had the Joy Behar story. A player in the NFL, Carl Nassib, came out as gay, and Joy Behar told this joke.
Trying to after they said penetration in the end zone, they lost me. So, Sonny, is this a sign that this...
Dead silence there. P1 Alex say, anybody catch Dave slip in the name Don Rickles when joined Bayo?
That's right.
Dave said, sounds like Don Rickles.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't either. We got a Don Rickles.
Who's got a Don Rickles? Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Bingo.
Behar apologized.
By the way, that inappropriate joke I made for daytime television, scratch it. Make believe I never said it. We'll be right back.
We're still waiting for Dave's apology.
Are you going to go hungry and thirsty?
We have not gotten it yet. Pop culture question number 2. What is the name of the second gentleman? Biggie.
Man. I feel like I want to say Rob.
Rob. Can you be more specific?
Roy?
Rob. No.
No.
Over to you, Dave.
David, what? I bet you know this. You're a historian. What is the name of the second gentleman?
I don't want to tell you. I think it's Doug Emhoff.
That's right.
Okay.
Doug Emhoff is right.
Wow.
He is married to Kamala Harris. They said today on the news, they were like, second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. I was like, who is that? I didn't even know what that was. Second
Doug.
gentleman. I looked
It's
at it.
Dougie Doug.
I was like, what's the second gentleman? He's sitting down.
Is that a Bachelor spinoff?
Yes. That's a good name.
Yeah, they're
To the loser.
second gentleman. He's sitting down for an explosive tell-all. What's he going to tell?
Yeah.
What's he talking about? Now, some big news yesterday. This goes along with government as well. Here's why I can't be a Supreme Court justice, okay? And I know people are saying, I mean, I hear the chorus of get into politics, run for something. I'm hearing that. But yesterday, the Supreme Court made a ruling on this girl, this teenager.
The cursing cheerleader.
The cursing cheerleader. She did this 4 years ago now. This took place. If you don't know her story, her name is Brandy Levy. And when she was 14, she tried out for the varsity cheerleading squad and didn't make it. So she took to Snapchat and immediately it was like, F this school, F these cheerleaders, F, 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 F. And the school, it got back to them and they punished her. They suspended her, I believe, for a few days. Anyway, there was a punishment doled out. Well, she said, that's not fair. I wrote this on my Snapchat. It was not on school grounds, and they have no right to punish me. So yesterday, the case made it all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled 8-1 in her favor, that she has freedom of speech, First Amendment right to say whatever she wants on her Snapchat, and the school cannot punish her. Now, when we discussed this case with Lisa Lanier 6 months ago, when it went to the Supreme Court, it was going to go there, I said, I think she's right, but I hate her. I can't stand her.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't like her because she goes out and cusses. And now I hate that she's been made a winner out of all this. And if I was on the Supreme Court, I would be like Clarence Thomas. I would know it was wrong, but I'd vote against her just to spite her. He was the one holdout. He's like, no, this foul, that's potty mouth. We're not going to do it. The news caught up with her. She was thrilled when the Supreme Court made the vote.
The school stepped out of their boundaries, and I'm glad that the Supreme Court also noticed that too.
She wrote F school, F softball, F cheering, F everything in 2017 when she was 14 years old. Now, I told Lisa Lanier and you all that her daddy should have taken her phone right away from her and said, I don't care what kind of speech you got, sit down. And instead, he took it to court to make sure she wasn't punished, and now it made it all the way to the Supreme Court. And she heard yesterday from all her friends.
I was getting a bunch of text messages, and then I went on Twitter, and I seen someone tweeted it, so that's how I found out, and I got really excited.
She is everything I loathe.
I was going to say, I can see you over there cringing.
My friends told me when I was on Twitter.
I seen it, and it was awesome. Shut up. I just want to
I've seen it on Twitter.
Oh, I want to smack her, but...
She didn't threaten anybody in that.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
She's just giving her feelings.
She gave her feelings, and she's right. I mean, let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
You should be allowed to say what you want to say when you're on social media. It would really be like the school punishing you for saying something amongst your friends.
While you're playing a video game.
Exactly. Yeah. Or whenever. I mean, at
or
the
on
mall,
the golf
at the
course.
mall or on the golf. If you said F the principal and it got back to him. And so they can't punish you for that at all. If you said something really bad.
If you said something like, I want to kill
That's different, though. I think that's a threat.
Yes.
What if you made fun of What if you drew like a picture of one of the teachers really making fun of her off campus, and somehow it was spotted, at your house? They can't do anything about that.
Well, not unless it comes on campus.
Yeah.
If you carry it on campus, that's a whole nother ballgame.
That's right. It can't be done. By golly, I cannot stand this girl.
I know you don't.
And I cannot stand her father.
Yep.
Do we know what she's up to now? Is she just graduating from high school?
She's 18 now, so I guess so. I guess she probably just graduated. I didn't even follow up. I just said to myself, I can't stand this
Supreme
girl.
Court.
Yeah, all the way to the Supreme Court. And Clarence Thomas was the one who stood with me to say, shut your foul mouth.
Just the two of you standing alone.
Me and Clarence Thomas.
You make me sick.
You make me sick, even though he has no legal standing. I mean, the other 8 were like, come on, Clarence.
Well, he had to put something down in his decision.
I know. I wanted to read his dissent.
Might have been what you just said.
Probably.
I know I'm probably wrong, but I hate this kid and everything about him.
That I would like to.
Warmly yours, Clarence.
I'll tell you this. You know what I was surprised by, too? I read this story on CNN.com, and Jeffrey Toobin was back on to talk about this decision in the Supreme Court. He's their legal analyst.
Yes,
he's working again.
Sat out his punishment or
That's
his
right.
time out.
That's right. So
And he joined.
Yeah,
rejoined
that's
the team about a week ago.
Yeah, and I thought they interviewed him a week or two ago, and I thought they were just interviewing him. If you don't know the story on Jeffrey Toobin, he is the guy who was on a Zoom call with his other employer, the New Yorker. Is that right?
Yes.
And immediately when the Zoom call was over, began
Hands off.
Finally.
he began pleasuring himself.
Little relief.
But what he didn't realize was he left his laptop on, so
He
everybody
was still
could see.
zooming.
That's right.
While he was tubing.
So he's
Pure accident.
purely by accident, and even O.J. Simpson commented.
Damn, Jeffrey Toobin. At least Pee Wee Herman was in an X-rated movie theater. I'm just saying.
We have to stand with O.J. on that one. I mean, the guy...
The voice of a nation.
Wasn't 2 seconds till the guy was off his Zoom call that he was playing with himself.
Okay, good meeting everybody. All right, thanks. We'll talk next week. Click. Oh, yeah.
I mean, right away.
So when I saw him back on CNN commenting on this story, I thought, he must be the best legal analyst in the world. Aren't there others? I mean, there've got to be more legal analysts. CNN decided to have him back after he did that. They couldn't go to anybody else. This is it. He must be a phenomenal legal analyst. He must just be the best in the world.
Do you think he had legal standing? I mean, the courts would sit there and say you can't fire him?
I mean, he's probably not union. I mean, I think they could fire him if they wanted
I think
to.
he's like a freelance guy. They pay him when he comes on.
I don't think they needed to.
Is he that good?
It sounds like most of his stuff is freelance, right?
Yeah, he's New York. He must be that good. I'm not familiar with his work.
I've seen it when I saw him on that interview. I'm like, I know I've seen him before, but I never knew he was like this legal mind.
I mean, he must be the best in the business.
CNN couldn't do without.
He's always. I mean, he was their go-to forever.
That's right. So I was thinking, like, there's 4 of us in here, right? If we were on a Zoom call with the whole company, which we've had before, and one of us at the very end thinks it's over or whatever, and just goes right to doing it.
Ugh. Who's first?
Who's first? Do they bring you back in?
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Do you keep your
You're not on mute.
Do you keep your job? I don't know.
I don't think we keep our jobs.
I don't know if you. Well, are you important enough to your company?
Good point.
To keep your job is the
The
question.
answer's no.